Good evening, Richmond County, and welcome to another edition of the RO Sports Show, brought to you by Richmond Community College, local college, big impact. Although Raider football is over with, the magic has stuck around Richmond Senior High School as the boys basketball team find themselves undefeated heading into the holiday break. But it hasn't come without a fight. In fact, their last two matchups have been nail-biters in their own right. Let's take you back to Friday night when the Raiders faced off against Pinecrest in a battle of the unbeatens. With the clock dwindling inside 5 seconds of regulation, junior guard Caleb Hood closed the lane and made his only block of the night. That play would prove to help the Raiders earn a 53-50 win over the Patriots in the final seconds. Hood's block came against a driving Bradley Haskell, who finished with a game-high 19 points. Swatting away Haskell's attempt in the paint preserved a 1-point lead for Richmond. Icing the win to help the Raiders become the last remaining unbeaten team in the conference was senior guard Kamir Civils. With 1.1 ticks left, Civils drained a pair of free throws to give the Raiders the 3-point win, the final of his team-high 14 points. For just the second time in 7 games this season, the Raiders played outside of their home gym, traveling to Chirral, a team Richmond defeated by 40 points last week. The Braves put up a tougher fight on their home court. The game would require one 4-minute overtime period, but the Raiders prevailed to earn a 67-65 victory and remain undefeated. The win made it the first time in the Raiders' 47-year history they'll be entering the holiday break 7-0. The 4 extra minutes was a back-and-forth affair for both teams that saw the Raiders and the Braves struggle to find the hoop. Ultimately, Richmond prevailed to secure the win to remain undefeated. The Raiders will look to ride their hot streak into the 3rd annual Ashbrook Holiday Hoop Fest, which is set for December 26th. Richmond will play Weddington in the opening round of the 3-day event, starting at 3 p.m. The Lady Raider basketball team has had much success this season as well. They fell short, however, to Pinecrest after making a comeback on the Lady Patriots Friday night, but ultimately Pinecrest secured the W. On the road Tuesday to close the season series against Chirral, head coach Teddy Mosley said he wanted his team to win and show improvement in different areas of the game. Winning wasn't a problem on that game as the Lady Raiders steamrolled the Lady Braves 51-4 behind a running clock for most of the game. Junior Security Covington and Jalen McDougall both finished with a game-high 10 points. The blowout victory made it the second time this season the Lady Raiders defeated Chirral by at least 45 points. But more importantly for Mosley, it was a win that helped the Lady Raiders regroup after losing their conference game to Pinecrest. Richmond would set the tempo early, outscoring the Lady Braves 25-0 in the opening quarter. 7 different scorers would find the basket in the first frame. The Lady Raiders will participate in the Anson Shootout Tournament and face Montgomery Central in the opening round. That game is scheduled for Friday at 4 p.m. Before the first block bell rang on Wednesday morning, DeMarcus Harrington made his college career official. The Richmond senior football player was joined by head coach Brian Till in the school's media center, where Harrington penned his name on his national letter of intent to Campbell University during the early signing period. Harrington's signing came just 2 months after verbally committing to play Division I college football with the Camels. He swapped his Raider green and gold for the black and orange of Campbell, complete with a Camels pullover and visor. Of his future playing college football, Harrington noted he's, quote, really excited to be a Camel for the next 4 years. During his senior campaign this fall, Harrington collected career highs in total tackles, solo tackles, tackles per game, passes defended, and also returned a punt for a touchdown against Jack Brett. Harrington's work in the secondary aided the Raiders' success, who finished 13-1 and saw them earn their 2nd straight conference title. Up next for Harrington will be his official visit to campus on January 17th to meet with school and football officials. He plans on studying journalism as an undergraduate. The Camels football program welcomed Harrington's signing with a Twitter post featuring Harrington decked out in a Campbell uniform with a header of, quote, "Welcome to the Creek." Up next, we have your middle school sports report, as well as the official Richmond County male and female athletes of the week. But first, a word from Richmond Community College.
Richmond Community College's Electric Utility Substation and Relay Technology program is a game changer. Established as a partnership between Richmond CC and Duke Energy in 2011, this innovative, one-of-a-kind program was created to address the nation's growing demand for technicians capable of working on the protective relaying that controls America's high-voltage power grid. While entry-level technicians in the utility industry normally require 5 years of training, Richmond CC's 2-year program was crafted specifically to cut the training time in half and fast-tracked its students toward high-skill, high-wage jobs in the industry. Graduates of the EUSRT degree program are making between $50,000 and $75,000 in their first year of employment. As lead instructor Steve Lampley said, "We have the program, we have the jobs, now we need more students." Enroll in Richmond Community College's Electric Utility Substation and Relay Technology today.
The Rockingham boys and girls basketball teams kicked off their respective season Monday with a set of big wins over visiting Carver. Both teams made it to the playoffs last season, and the Lady Rockets and head coach Teresa Mason are looking to duplicate another perfect season and repeat as the SEM SAC champions. The Lady Rockets took care of the Lady Eagles 42-28 to earn their first win of the year, with 2 players reaching double digits for Rockingham. On Wednesday, the Lady Rockets and head coach Teresa Mason rolled past West Hoke, defeating the Lady Tigers 54-10. The 54 points were a season high for Rockingham, and the 44-point margin of victory was also the team's largest this year. Improving to 2-0, the team will return to the court following Christmas break and pick back up at Ellerbe on January 7th. Tip-off is set for 4 p.m. Following the girls' game, the Rockets couldn't complete the sweep of the Tigers as they fell 46-44 to West Hoke. The Rockets will also return to the hardwood against Ellerbe on January 7th. That game will begin around 5:30 p.m. following the girls' game. Back on the court for the second time this season, Ellerbe boys and girls basketball teams picked up a split against East Hoke on Monday in the team's home opener. The Wildcats would bounce back after suffering a loss in their season opener, using a strong second half to defeat the Eagles 34-22. Head coach Tommy Shelton's team would overcome a 3-point halftime deficit to even its record, while setting East Hoke home with its second loss and as many tries. Now 1-well in the season, the Ellerbe boys will take a break from Rockingham visits on January 7th. Ahead of the boys' win, the girls basketball team of Ellerbe struggled against the Lady Eagles and fell 26-11. Head coach Derek Anderson would see his team score just 4 first half points and trail 15-4 at the break. East Hoke would outscore the home team 11-7 in the second half to secure the win. The Lady Wildcats are now 0-2 and will also welcome in defending SEM SAC champion Rockingham on January 7th. For the second straight game to start the season, Jamarn Wall and Jamison Jones teamed up to help the Cordova boys basketball team earn a win. Hosting Spring Hill on Monday, the Cavaliers rolled to a 55-27 victory. Wall finished as the game's leading scorer, the second time he's done that this season, with a season-high 25 points. In the Cavs opener last week against Sandy Grove, Wall had 22. During the first half, the Cavs and the Spartans kept it close with the home team, taking a 24-19 lead into the break. Out of the locker room, it was all Cordova, which outscored Spring Hill 31-8 in the final 2 periods. Now 2-0 in the season, the Cavs will head into the Christmas holiday break and face West Hoke on the road on January 6. Also picking up a win on Monday was the Hamlet boys basketball team, which was on the road at Sandy Grove. The Red Rams held off a second half push from the Panthers to win 47-36. Coached by Chris Campoletta and assisted by John Ware in the absence of head coach Keith Parsons, the Red Rams improved to 2-0 to start the season. Hamlet will get back onto the hardwood following the break on January 6 at home against Spring Hill. Junior bowler Mitchell Massey has been named the official Richmond County Male Athlete of the Week, presented by Moss Brothers Tire and Service. The Richmond bowling program, which features a boys and girls team, participated in its third meet of the season last Thursday in Fayetteville. Massey had one of his best career outings, helping the Raiders to one win and nearly upset an experienced Jack Britt team. This is Massey's first career selection.
Out here at practice on Tuesday afternoon, and Mitchell, you're our first bowler to be recognized this year as our athlete of the week, and a lot of people don't really know that Richmond's got a pretty successful bowling program. So our first question to you is just, how did you get involved in this sport?
Well, I started last year. I just wanted a sport to play, so I did this. I really enjoy it.
What do you enjoy most about it?
Just all the lanes are different, and you really got to figure out how to throw the ball. They're all different. I find it fun.
What's the highest game that you've ever bowled? Whether for
Highest
fun
I bowled, it's like a 185.
Is that all?
Yeah.
No, that's pretty impressive. I don't even think I can get 100 pins down out here. Mitchell, in 2 matches last week against Pernell Sweat and Jack Britt, you bowled 15 strikes and you closed out 19 of your 24 frames. So, for those who don't know, that's a pretty impressive afternoon at the bowling alley. So, what worked well for you last week?
Well, the lanes were a lot different. My ball was just going well, just hitting the pocket. I was getting strikes, so I just kept consistency, and it was working well for me.
When you start knocking down the pins and with consistency, does that help you out a little bit?
Yeah, like you'll find a rhythm, and you just keep throwing it down the same spot on the lane, and usually ends up with strikes.
You also put a lot of spin on your ball. You know, some people roll it straight down the lane. You, on the other hand, have a little bit more spin. So just kind of describe what your technique or what your method is.
All right. Well, the spin, it makes it where the ball comes in more at an angle. You have a higher chance of knocking down more pins. So that's the reason behind it.
And what's the mindset like too when you anchor in the 5th and the 10th frames?
Just hit as many pins as I can. Try to close out frames and just get strikes and spares.
Last question for you, Mitchell. What are some of the team's goals this year overall?
Well, we'd like to make it a states, do well there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Try to qualify.
How about you individually? What would you like to do out here this season?
I'd like to drop 200 in a game. You know, just keep playing well, knocking down pins.
Senior guard Kiana Love has been named the official Richmond County Female Athlete of the Week. Back on the hardwood for the Lady Raiders for her senior year, Love returns to Richmond after playing her junior season at the O'Neill School. This is her first career selection, and Love is coming off 2 double-digit scoring performances in 2 games last week, the latter of which saw her net a season-high 20 points.
So, Kiana, you're coming off really your best two of your best performances this season, and you put up 20 points Friday against Pinecrest. So, first question to you, just kind of walk us through that scoring performance. You had 5 3-pointers, so just kind of walk us through that and what worked well for you.
Well, I knew that, my team was kind of behind, like 4 points behind in the third quarter, so I was just trying to get us to where we needed to be, and the shots just started falling. So.
What are you thinking about whenever you're putting up shots from beyond the arc? I mean, they're falling like that. What's the mentality?
Just like, let's get it. Like, we got to get this dub, basically.
That's right. So how would you describe your playing style? Because, you're one of several guards on this team, but, you can drive, you can shoot from beyond the arc. So what's your playing style like?
I consider my playing style like a finesse game.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm not too physical, as y'all can see, so most of the moves I do, I base it off, like, NBA or WNBA players I watch.
Okay. And so what would you rather do? Would you rather shoot from kind of mid-range, or would you rather drive?
Really, I would rather shoot behind, like, the 3-point.
Okay. Defensively, how do you think the team's doing so far through 6 games this year?
I think we're getting where we need to get. Piece by piece, it's starting to come all together.
Okay. What's the best thing about playing with this year's team?
Well, we got great energy, and it's just like a good group of girls, and we all know how each other play, so we know where we're going to be when during the play. So
that's right. If you could choose a word to describe this year's team, what would it be and why?
If I had to, confident.
Okay. Why so?
Well, because we're all different in our own way, but everybody brings something different to the table. But anything we do bring to the table, we always bring it at our best. Okay.
And that's really good. And I know that's something Coach Mosley talks about is kind of having that confidence. So unfortunately, you guys are kind of on a 2-game conference skid, but you guys can turn things around. You're 4-2 overall, but what can fans expect from the Lady Raiders kind of going into the holiday break tournament and coming out of that?
Most definitely, we're gonna do better as conference game wise to get back on top.
And that's going to do it for another edition of the RO Sports Show, brought to you by Richmond CC. We appreciate them as a sponsor, which allows us to continue to bring you the best coverage of Richmond County athletics for free. For the latest updates on every sport, head on over to richmondobserver.com and follow the Ross Facebook page for your weekly wrap-up. You can also find some exclusive RO Sports content across all of our social media platforms. In the meantime, I'm Russell Parker. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on the RO Sports Show.